good everyone, welcome back to another Fact Beast episode. Today we're talking about what's behind the badge, and not just any badge, not your school badge, not your football team badge, not your sport badge, but police badges, police life in Dunedin. And today, yes, we are going to talk to a wonderful police officer. And that's our special guest. They work for the New Zealand Police. They are an ethnic liaison officer. Please welcome to the show, Constable Garth Sheehan. Welcome to the show.
Kia ora. Thank you for having me here. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, thank you for coming on Fact Beast with Ajax as well. We're going to have a really fun time today, fun and exciting, and hopefully our listeners, my listeners, will pull something away from this episode. So before we start, a question that I ask everybody: could you please describe yourself in 3 emojis?
Oh, good one, good one. 3 emojis. Okay, first of all, I'd have to choose a family emoji.
Yes.
Because that's what I'm very passionate about, my family. I've got a wee young family myself, kids your age as well, so beautiful. I would also choose probably something to do with space. I'm really into the space and, you know, knowing things in a bigger context. And finally, probably age-old love heart, because without love and compassion, you know, don't make the world move very well. So, yeah.
Yeah, very cool emojis, and I'm really surprised you didn't pick like a police officer car or anything like that. But
tempting, but
yeah.
I think life's sometimes bigger than your job as well, and I think my family's more important. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I know
still
where
love
that
the badge, but yeah.
I know where that comes from. So yeah, thank you for describing yourself in 3 words, 3 emojis. And now, just to lengthen that up, because many of my listeners might not know about you, could you please just describe yourself, because obviously you have a lot going around, so yeah.
Yeah, so as mentioned, I'm the Dunedin Police's Ethnic Liaison Officer. I've only been policing for about 7 years, but I've held this position for 3 years. Father of 4 gorgeous, beautiful daughters. So yeah, very busy at home as well. I think the youngest is just started high school. The oldest is about to turn 21. So yeah, life's full on at home as well. And I've got my own family up in Auckland as well, which I pop back every couple of years to go visit, because, yeah, as I mentioned, family is very important to me, and socialising with them is my downtime from policing. So, yeah, it's a little bit about me, just to keep it low-key, yeah.
Yeah, so you after those 2 questions, we can really tell you're a really family guy, which is very awesome. That's what we like at Fact Beast with Ajax. So yeah, the next thing I wanted to ask to you. Now, when you think of the police officer, policeman in this case, you think they're that bad person who goes around chasing people. And is that really the truth? And why are people scared of you?
Yeah, well, I guess, you know, in movies, on TV shows and all that, there is a persona or an image that they try to portray, and sometimes it's quite comical and fun, like on 911 or some of those other police shows. But when you get the reality ones, the real nuts and bolts of this, it is us chasing people, it is us arresting people, and it looks very hands-on, looks very aggressive, so there's an essence of that which might scare people, but we're friendly, we're approachable here in New Zealand, and that's another thing that I love about my job, and that's being able to connect with our community, with our public.
Yeah, definitely. So moral of the story, people shouldn't always be scared of you. You're just there to do your job. And then police aren't always scary like in the movies, are they? No,
not at all. And I think it's something we do quite well here in Aotearoa, is we try to be approachable. We try to be someone that people have trust and confidence in. So whenever they need support or help, they're able to come and speak with us.
Yeah, wonderful mahi you're doing around Dunedin, Otipoti Dunedin. And also another thing is that I wanted to share. What does a normal day look like to you? Is it mostly paperwork? Is it fighting crime? Is it catching bad guys? Or what is it?
Yeah, well, look, given my role as a liaison officer, I do have a sort of a different purpose to some of the frontline officers you'll see, which are, hooning around in cars with the lights and sirens. That's what I'd argue is what people perceive policing as.
Yep.
But for me, it's about relationships. So I'm behind the scenes trying to connect police with different groups. Like, for instance, me in the ethnic liaison officer role, I'm trying to connect with all our cultural and religious and ethnic groups in the community. So yeah, there's a bit of paperwork, but there's a lot of meet and greets face to face. I get invited to celebrations, festivals, any type of gig in town that wants some police involvement that involves the ethnic community. I'll be there just to be visible, and so kind of break those barriers as well for some people who are unfamiliar with police.
So that means you have like a very good whānaungatanga with a lot of ethnic communities around Ōtepoti. So yeah, good relationship with a lot of people is always good. It helps you connect with them, and yeah, I've actually seen you around quite a few places, like events, and so yeah, I totally see where your job is headed to. So you go to those events, those ethnic events, so yeah, that's a very cool job that you're doing. And it's a question that has just popped up, yeah, a lot of people these days want to be like either astronauts, firefighters, or like mostly what I've heard, police officers. So, what advice do you have to those who want to be police officers?
Look, it's definitely a job that is rewarding but challenging at the same time. So the advice that I would do is, I wanted to become a police officer at a very young age, but then I didn't join till much later. If you want to join, and you're just leaving school, consider, other options. Get a wee bit of life experience, travel probably, so you get to have a bit of experience around the world, and then come back and assess yourself. I know nowadays it's very easy to apply to join the police, and as long as you're fit, you can join up until, you're in your 50s. So with our program today, age is not an issue. It's just as long as you've got the mindset and the ability to run for a little period of time anyway, you should be fine.
Yeah, that's awesome. And this next question, I didn't want to keep it for last because what they say, ending with a good note at last is always best. So this question isn't necessarily the best question I have in terms of situation and emotion, but what's the worst crime or crash you've ever faced? And you have said that you normally work around the background, so if it's not something, what's like the worst crime or crash that you've heard of?
Look, I think I can relate to this one pretty soundly, and it's not to do with crime per se. It's when we deal with death. So in my role here, particularly with foreigners who were in our country at the time who unfortunately in a tragic incident, and we have to support whānau coming from another country who don't speak English, and obviously the whole situation is very surreal and real at the same time. That being a comfort support for them is helpful, but it's a gentle reminder that sometimes life is too short, and hug those ones that you want close to you, because you just never know. One day they're away overseas on a trip, and then you're flying over there for other purposes. So I would rein it down to dealing with that kind of stuff, which not too many people think police get involved too much in with, is dealing with fatalities and having to tell people of their extended family that such an incident has occurred. So yeah, probably that.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting a answer like this, and I totally get it. For a few days they're here with you, and the next they're not. So that could always be tough, and that's a very good answer. While we're talking about this, I just wanted to add another thing. So stuff like that is like kind of a big emergency. How do you, but especially the police, handle these big emergencies compared to the small incidents?
Yes, good question. Larger emergencies obviously require sort of external supports as well. So we rely heavily upon our fire services, you'll be well aware of, as well as our St John's service as well. So generally with the larger emergencies, there's a lot of external support, and so we all collaboratively work alongside each other to get the best result. And they pull in a lot of resources. So when things are a little bit smaller or nichey, we just focus on who's best at that person or that time and place, and then so we're not, swarming or swamping the area or the zone, or putting too much stress on our other resources. Keep it kind of, if it's a police issue, it's a police issue. If it's a youth with some issues, then we get our youth team in, when we don't bring in frontline or the dog handlers or anything like that, because it might create a much more larger scene. So yeah, we just apply our resources respectfully to the occasion.
So it's basically like different game modes or levels on a video game.
Yeah, but it's an easy way to put it.
Yeah.
You don't want to put everything in one basket and leave some stuff empty, because then it exposes you at the other end. So yeah, but obviously time, place, circumstance. If you want to fight the boss, you've got to come in with the big ammunition at the end, don't you?
Yeah.
So the big case scenarios do require further resources, don't they?
And going back to the cultural aspects, because Fact Feast with Ajax is very cultural, and you are an ethnic liaison officer, how do you handle or deal with people from different communities or cultures?
Yeah, again, very good question. It comes back to that manaakitanga, that hospitality, that going the extra step. I quite often, through my experience, have just asked each person for just a bit of language from their culture or from their origin, and even just an introduction in someone's own language is just an appreciation that I've given time and they understand that, and therefore, in a tough situation or a demanding, stressful situation, they're looking at a Kiwi police officer that's speaking their own language, and they're obviously going, wow, this guy's actually taken his time out to respect me. So yeah, to build that rapport takes time, but yeah, you've got to put in that effort, and it's definitely rewarding. I can tell you that Dunedin is a very lovely place to police, and I guess I appreciate my role really, really well, and it's respected by the community too.
Yeah, very nice place to police. Sounds like something some of my friends would say. And a question that I actually forgot to ask before, but one of my friends called Jack, he did ask me this. So your title is Ethnic Liaison Officer. So he asked me what actually is liaison, because it could be really anything, and I thought that's definitely a very good question, because I might, or your listeners might not know about that. So what's the difference between a liaison officer and a regular officer?
Yeah, so I think I said earlier before, the frontline officers or the regular police officers, they're generally the ones in the cars speeding around. Well, you can consider me still in a vehicle, but I'm more like the bridge between the communities in Ireland here and the police are in Ireland there, and sometimes people might not be comfortable in talking to the police directly, so I'm that bridge, and hopefully I can make it easier for the community and police to connect appropriately, depending what the situation is, obviously. So yeah, make it easier for especially our ethnic communities to engage with the police, and that's my role, is to make sure that foundation is nice and sturdy. So yeah, hopefully that explained it well.
It explained a little bit to me. Hopefully that really helps my friend, and thank you for the question. Now let's move on to teamwork, because teamwork is a really big part of life, and as a lot of people say, teamwork makes the dream work. Yeah. So usually when I see something bad happen, for example a car crash, there's not only the police, there's the firefighters and the ambulance. So these three kind of work together. And do you know why they like to or need to work together?
Yeah, so look, when someone's in an emergency and they call 111, the operator will ask fire, police or ambulance, and generally what will what someone will say will be the one that initially comes to their head. However, our fire, police and ambulance can all seemingly operate the same basic main way first in terms of medical or first aid, and then what will happen is, obviously, if it's a crash, you want to send as many support units as you can.
Yeah.
But if it's a crime where someone's holding up a bank, you don't want to send an ambulance in there for that. But they might be on standby in case someone gets hurt. So we do work in tandem with each other, and even though there's a primary designated unit, let's say it's police attending a job, those others won't be far behind just in case there's a time and need for their services.
Oh, okay. That by my reaction, you've probably, because that's a question I've always been wondering, because I always see the three together, and now it makes sense because they're always just standby, not because they are needed, but just because they're like there. So yeah, makes sense. Safety's always first. And you guys together are like the Avengers, but together, yeah.
Together, perfect team.
And for this question, you've actually explained the first part, and my friend Logan asked this question. So what, behind the scenes, what happens after, let's say, for example, I call 111?
So yeah, you call 111, again, they would ask, what's the emergency, so then the operator can delegate which units need to go to that certain job. So again, if you say you've been in a car crash, you're going to get all three, fire, ambulance and police, because whoever's closest by is going to be able to give you the help. If there's a bank hold up, yeah, you're probably going to get police as the first responders, but those others will be notified and aware. So you just got to be clear with your instructions of what's happening, where you are, and then hopefully we can get the right resources. But very stressful situations for some people, so the more people that they can send to a job, hopefully we get the right resources there.
That's actually super important to know, and every one of my listeners, you better be listening to that part, because that's always going to help you out someday, or not even you, someone someday. And our next question is, so the police's job, again, as we discussed, isn't only about being sometimes the bad guys, chasing around all the bad guys. It's also making people feel safe. So what things have helped you make other people feel safe when they're feeling unsafe?
Yeah, I mean, reassurance is a good word. So if they've been through a tough time with us, we just got to go out there and, mend old wounds a little bit. But in general, I do think policing in New Zealand is now perceived as safe. We're approachable, and we encourage our officers to engage with the public. So you see us walking in town, with a high vis on and stuff like that. Just come up and say hi, because that builds that kind of connection that we want. So we want people to be able to call us in need, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rather than be going, I don't want the police to come,
Yeah,
I prefer them not to be there, because we want to be there. We're not always going to make a situation worse, but we want to make sure we can help you the best we can.
Yeah, definitely. And kind of like the same question, but just expressing more on youth, because they can be quite different to the majority of people. So what should young people, especially tamariki and rangatahi, do when they feel unsafe in public?
Yeah, that's a good question, and definitely in a public setting, look, don't be afraid to go into a police station if you do feel unsafe or something's happened, especially given your age. Police would definitely be willing to help and support you any way they can. There are also the use of the public stores who you can go into and say, hey, something's not going right here, and they can contact the police on your behalf. Yeah, care and protection is a key aspect for policing here, particularly in Dunedin as well, where we've got a lot of high schools and a condensed area where people hang out. So if you're feeling unsafe, you can call 111 and we can provide some support for you.
Yeah, very good to know, especially being rangatahi myself, and a lot of my listeners are also rangatahi, so that will definitely help them out. Another question. Now, you've said that Dunedin is a very diverse cultural city. Policing is awesome here, and people respect the police. But what about rangatahi? Is Dunedin, in your aspect, a safe place for tamariki and rangatahi to spend time, hang out, compared to the other cities around New Zealand?
Yeah, look, I'd say Dunedin's not without its hiccups, but generally kids are free and able to do most of the things they'd like to do in town. We're not immune to some of the characteristics of other bigger cities and bigger towns, because it always has a trickle-down effect on the smaller towns like Dunedin. But yeah, the majority of the time we want to be visible in those communities to allow people to be free and able to do what they want. So most of the time the rangatahi are able to go about the everyday without any incidences. But like we mentioned before, if there is a situation where they need some help and support, just give us a call, 111, and police will be there.
Okay, again, very, very great to know. And a question that just like popped up, because this has happened quite a few times. Why is it that police do the breath test on drivers?
Yeah. So yeah, when we deal with anyone who's driving a vehicle, we just want to make sure that they aren't intoxicated while driving on the roads. Fortunately, New Zealand's not too good at driving safely. It's one of our biggest issues is road safety. So we just want to make sure that, especially if you're in a car and you're driving with your family, that another person on our road is not intoxicated. That could put you at risk. So everyone who we pull over, we're asked to just make sure that they are under the limit so they're able to drive.
So it's very important to do.
Very important.
Yeah. Now that comes along to the fun segment of our today's show. Now normally this would be the quick beastly blast, but I've decided that let's take a break from that and do this emoji crime decoder, especially because Garth is a police officer and he should be good at this.
Oh.
Now you can't peek.
My detective hat's on.
Yeah, so let's go. Now this one's just an example, kind of like a test run.
Okay.
A person emoji.
Gotcha.
A car emoji.
Gotcha.
One of those cloud puff emojis.
Yes.
A police car emoji.
Yes.
And a big boom emoji.
So, is that a car crash?
Yes.
With anything else, or just a straight up car crash?
That was it. Wow, this is
I've
going.
completed that. I'm all done. Thank you.
No. There's more. So this is a one. So there's again a person.
Person.
A beer bottle.
Oh, beer bottle.
Then there's a normal car.
Normal car.
Cloud.
Cloud.
Police car.
Police car. Drink driver.
Yes. Woo! That's drinking and driving.
Yes, which is not a good thing.
Yeah, and I think you only got that because we were just talking about it. Okay,
Possibly.
let's go to the next one. There's a person.
Person.
Bag.
Bag.
Food.
Food.
Trolley.
Trolley.
Eyes.
Eyes.
Run.
Bag, food, trolley. Is this someone shoplifting from a supermarket or something?
You have to be peeking. No, yes, that is correct. Wow, yep, it was Mission Chocolate Haste.
Mission Chocolate Haste, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Okay, you're never gonna get this one, okay? So a person.
Person.
And then device.
Oh, a device.
Car.
Car.
Arrow.
Arrow.
A big boom.
Big boom.
And a traffic cone.
Traffic cone. Device. Person. Device. Was it car?
Yep.
Arrow.
Yep.
Boom. Traffic cone.
This one looks like it's tricky, which is good.
It's not someone stealing a car? Device. You've got me. Clue. Can can I get a clue?
Okay, this will probably summon it out. The device is a phone.
Devices. So they've been on their phone while driving?
Yes, yes. The clue really helps. Yep.
Yes.
So yeah, the answer is using phone while driving. It's a distracted driver. Now that looked really easy, so next time I need to come up with harder ones. But yeah, you did very well.
Oh, no, thank you very much.
And that was it for today. We had a wonderful time, but before we finish up today's very fun episode, is there anything you'd like to tell my listeners?
Yeah, look, the biggest thing that I'd like to say is kia ora team, and look, if you ever are out in the public and you happen to see one of us walking around town, please come up and say hi. We like that interaction, especially with the rangatahi, especially with the youth of our community as well. So yeah, all I can say is, yeah, aroha mai to you guys, and yeah, all the best.
Thank you so much, and yeah, again, as Garth said, don't be afraid of the police. Go say hi to them. It's always okay. And another thing I'd like to tell you is keep listening to Fact Beast with Ajax. There is more wonderful content coming out later, and today was a really epic blast. So again, thank you so much at being Fact Beast with Ajax, and I'll hope to see you next time.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.